will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
Northern Tool and Equipment isn't just a store. It's a problem solver's paradise. Fully stocked with the right professional-grade tools and fully staffed with experts who have the right answers. Problem solved. Power buys are back. For a limited time, save $150 on a Yellow Jacket 3-ton floor jack or $80 on our North Star 26-gallon sprayer. Shop in store or northerntool.com.
At Ingles, we're all in for summer. Whether you're hitting the trails, hitting the water, or hitting the golf ball, we have everything you need for the perfect picnic, the greatest grill out, and the best beach vacation. We know that the mountains are calling, the open road awaits, and that pool party is ready to rock. So head on over to Ingles and stock up on all the goodies to get you through your summer of freedom. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Portions of the following program will be recorded.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Tonight in San Francisco, Game 1 of the NBA Finals for the Warriors and the Celtics. So far in these playoffs, Boston is 7-2 on the road, and Golden State is 9-0 at home. ESPN's Vince Carter says watch for some of the lesser-known Warriors to make an impact.
They have bought into the system and the way Golden State plays for these moments. And I think Jordan Poole and Kuminga and Moody, guys like that, are going to play huge roles in their select minutes, and they're going to surprise people.
Vince Carter on KJ and Max. Our Game 1 coverage starts at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ABC TV. In the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight, Game 2 of the West Final for the Oilers and Avalanche in Denver. Colorado leads the series 1-0, but they won't have goaltender Darcy Kemper. He is out with an upper body injury. 18-year-old American Coco Gauff will play in the French Open final. After a straight-set win today over Martina Trevisan, it'll be Gauff's first Grand Slam final. She'll play world number 1 Iga
Think
Swiatek.
O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
And welcome into another edition of the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app and, of course, seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat as we chop it up today about, we'll get to the NBA Finals at some point. We got apparently...
It will be a very limited get to the NBA Finals.
Yes.
Because for some reason, we have to drag this out like it's, it's
ultimate drama.
I'm so ready for this to be over.
It's ultimate drama, though, and I think it could be the best series that we've had. Is that not saying a lot to you?
No.
Okay. All right.
No, it's not. Yay, best series we've had.
Woohoo! The rest of them have, not lived up to the... I can't think of a single one.
That's like saying, well, this will be the prettiest car in a junkyard. Yeah. Well, tremendous.
I guess the Dallas Mavericks, their 7-game series was the only one with real drama. But now we get the Golden State Warriors, Boston Celtics. 7-game series begins tonight at 9 o'clock. I really wish I could watch it, but, I'm going to be in the bed because I'm an old man.
Here's my idea. Sudden death, one game for all of it. And then we just call it good. And then we can just be done.
We'll talk some NBA Finals. We got the owner of the Carolina Panthers and his real estate company filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. We'll get into that in the second hour.
Never good when you say the owner of your team and bankruptcy in the same sentence.
No, it is not. But I will have to defer to Jeremy on a lot of that because I believe he knows more about financial things than I do.
Which is not saying much. I thought you were going to say because I feel like he's gone bankrupt at some point.
It hasn't happened
yet.
Nope,
but close.
More
than once.
We'll get into that again. We usually say we're not cops, we're not lawyers, we're not bankers or tax attorneys. So
nope, you'd have to defer to HWA on that one.
Right,
and she is not here today.
We will get into that in the second hour. First hour though, going to be eaten up by golf. We had a match last night, and Dustin Johnson. Because he's getting that bag from the Saudis.
Dustin Johnson did that thing I told you somebody was going to do.
Yep.
Basically the way that I have phrased this is the first segment is going to be happy golf. This is like Bob Ross. We're going to paint some happy little trees over here.
All right.
The next segment will be angry golf.
Angry golf.
Because
you could be mad at the PGA.
I might be just a hair.
All right. We'll get into that in just a little while. But first off, the match. We had Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady teaming up against the young guns, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen in the match yesterday. And the old guys came out as the victors.
They didn't mean to.
It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, though.
They did not mean to. And here's what I learned definitively from the match.
Okay.
Pat Mahomes proved that if you're not drinking beer on a golf course, you're doing it wrong.
Right.
B, Josh Allen cannot play dead in a Western on a golf course. And C, guys that are our age or older are just exponentially more competitive than the young guys are. Mahomes and Josh Allen are just riding around, having a good old time. They're dapping up people like Josh Allen hugged a guy because he hit him.
Right.
First of all, that was my number one takeaway. Why are you standing so close? You are in grave danger.
Right. Tom Brady, I saw the one shot where he sprayed it into the crowd.
Oh, you mean the one that took a hard right turn? That thing needed turn signals on it.
Yeah. Golf courses over there, Tom. And here's me throwing shade, not being the golfer. I've never played golf. Other than, miniature golf.
I am 99% sure I could beat 3 of those guys on a golf course.
Really?
There's only one that I look at and go, you're pretty good.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. And that would be, man bun versus man bun. I'm all the way in.
Right. Well, after Tom lost it the last time, I knew there was no way that he was going to be with one of the young guns. You knew that he was going to take Aaron Rodgers in the match. And the old guys won it.
And it was great television. That was the best thing I've seen on television since the NFL ended.
Really?
Other than the majors have been good in golf, I would say that's better than any NBA game I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Drastically better than that USFL nonsense.
Yeah, that thing died quickly.
Oh, yeah. That died on its shield. Who's shocked? Show of hands.
That other network keeps trying to they've tied their horse to that wagon. So they've got to make it seem like it's something, but it's really nothing.
And and somehow, off this great theatrical event, you get these 4 quarterbacks. They're open. They're honest. They did the quarterback conversation afterwards. It was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
The story today is all about Tom and all about Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Because Aaron Rodgers said something to the effect of, I don't know how much longer I'm going to play. Of course he doesn't. Do we have to do this every time he opens his mouth?
Yes.
Do we honestly have to take every word that comes out of his mouth as, it means something?
Yes, because when the greats start to get to that point where they're deciding, swim or go home, it's a talking point. It's always going to be a talking point.
And I go back to a line from the great father of great NASCAR legend Ricky Bobby. I was probably high. He very well may have just been smoking doobies. Who knows?
Could have been.
And there's part of me that thinks he does this just to mess with people.
Of course he does.
I think he says these things just because he knows everybody will lose their mind.
Look, he's a smart cat, and he knows if I say something semi-controversial about whether or not I'm going to play or how much longer I'm going to play, I'm going to own the news cycle for a day. Aaron Rodgers is not stupid. He may be high half the time, but he ain't stupid.
And we don't know that. He may not be. It's just, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, probably a duck.
I think we know. I mean, don't we? Don't we all know?
Aaron Rodgers is that one guy that you see in a vape store and go, yeah, that's about right. You belong here.
So he could be, he could not be, but he knows. He knows he can own the news cycle by saying just something off the cuff. Didn't he do it at the last match? I think he did.
I believe he did something to this effect.
And then for 2 days after the last match, it was, he hadn't gotten the big 4-year, $200 million contract that he had just signed with the Packers. It was a little more tenuous of a situation, contractually speaking, last time. But still, year in and year out, we're going to go through this. I feel like we're done with this with Tom Brady, don't you?
Well, Tom just went full responsible adult. Tom's like, well, you get older and you have responsibilities and you want to play good and you try to play good. Aaron Rodgers just went, I might not show up next week.
Right.
Who knows?
Right.
I'm just out here doing stuff. Out here living my best life.
I feel like we can all come to the realization that this is the last stand for Tom Brady. None of the stuff that ever panned out and or none of the stuff that was rumored in the offseason panned out. He wasn't going to San Francisco. He wasn't going to Miami. He came back to Tampa, and I have no misgivings that this is going to be the last season that he plays.
I kind of do.
You do.
I think he positioned it.
There's a third act coming.
Oh, wait, you said that in a weird way. You're saying that this is the end.
This is he's done.
Okay, you said that strangely.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, to me, this is the end. Now everybody will make it about, well, he's an unrestricted free agent next year.
Mm-hmm.
Stop doing that.
No. All we have seen from Tom Brady in this offseason is just fun Tom Brady. This is full Tampa Bay. This is just he's not showing up drunk like it was at the Super Bowl parade or anything.
No,
but
Brady strikes me as I feel like we're at midlife crisis Brady, where he's trying to be the cool dad, and you're just not. That's not who you are, and we know it. I will say he did have the line of the night last night.
When he said his shot was a little chunky.
It was a little chunky, and then said it was very Josh Allen-y. That was good.
It was a good shot.
That was good. It was also good when he took one of those balls that had his combine picture on it and threw it in the woods.
Right.
That was also funny.
You got to give it to the guys. They're having a lot of fun with this.
As well they should.
Yeah.
Look, this is what you need to be doing with your content. And I know that there are a lot of old guard people that go, well, that's not traditional. That's the point. Right. That's the point. We don't watch traditional things now. We watch one sport. We watch the NFL. Mm-hmm. And I want you to think about what I'm going to say. I will bet you a considerable amount of money that match between 4 NFL quarterbacks will outrate every game that's been on TNT this year.
Possibly.
Baseball, the NBA, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
It'll outrate them all. Why? Because it's what we want to see. We want to see these guys have a little personality. I've always said this is the biggest drawback of baseball. The first second somebody shows any form of personality, nope, that's not how we do things.
But there's no, I'll take a page out of your book. There aren't that many stars in baseball. I mean, there's a handful of guys, but you couldn't do this with baseball and pull a number, could you? Could you foresee Mike Trout and Mookie Betts and I'm starting to get thin already on the stars of the game. Right,
Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani.
Right.
I'd watch it.
Those guys playing on a golf course,
I'd watch it. I'd watch it if for nothing else, just to see how big Aaron Judge's golf clubs have to be.
Right.
Those things have to look like Vladimir Guerrero's bat. They're like 9 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not what you do. And I'll be honest with you, it's not what the NBA does. The NBA has a ton of personalities.
Mm-hmm.
You don't pander into any of them. Who are the loudest, the most vocal members of the NBA?
I'd say Kyrie's probably one.
No, it's not even close.
Really?
No. LeBron James is one, 2, and 4.
1, 2.
And every word that comes out of his mouth irritates about 60% of people.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good. That's not good. That's a bad sign for you. All right, take the same thing you said about baseball players.
Mm-hmm.
If we did this with LeBron, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Nikola Jokic, would you watch that?
No.
I would. I would, and I would enjoy every second of it.
I was going to say, they used to have, back in the day, the traveling basketball teams, but you can't do that anymore.
Right, I'll say that I will will this into existence. Rock and Jock, bring it back!
The NFL, though, the NFL teams used to have traveling basketball teams, and that's what they would do in the offseason. They would go around and have these little special. I saw the Miami Dolphins basketball team play the Crossfire team up at the Civic Center way back in the day. I think O.J. McDuffie was the star of that.
He was freakishly athletic.
He was a hell of a dunker.
Yeah, I was about to say, he was really good in that Foot Locker celebrity slam dunk thing.
Yeah, but it was fun. They had a couple of defensive, offensive linemen, 300-pound dudes out there, balling it up. It was a good exhibition that drew in some fans.
This year has told me, and you can vouch for this because you've been literally every time I've ever been on air, save about 5 times, you've been on the other opposite side of the table from me. I've been railing this for 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Every sport seems to not understand what is consumable.
Right.
The NBA. We are struggling in your finals with one of the biggest stars in your entity and 2 great young players.
Mm-hmm.
We're struggling to find anything to talk about. Anything. There's nothing there. It's just a wasteland of death.
Well, it's all the same stuff. Like, if you listen to the national programs and they're talking about the NBA Finals, they're all talking about the same thing. Do the Golden State Warriors have to win this? Does Steph Curry have to win this title to be one of the top 10 players of all time? I've heard that on every freaking show.
Yeah, and let me give you 30 seconds on that. Tell me you're a moron without telling me you're a moron. I've heard 3 separate people say, well, Steph Curry's not actually a top 5 point guard of all time.
Stop that.
Stop talking.
Right.
What? Why does anyone listen to a word you say?
Right.
Because that is pure insanity. And it's just funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny to me to sit back and watch this and go, you know what? The NFL can do anything. Anything.
Mm-hmm. I want to know that they're good golfers, though. For me to watch it, I want to know that they're good golfers. Like, if the NBA is going to do it, Steph Curry has to be in it. Because we know Steph is a good golfer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think there were a lot of people who were, they enjoyed the match, but they were disappointed by the quality of golf. And they're fine golfers.
I'll be honest with you, I liked this drastically better.
Without pros.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I liked this drastically better. The first one was good because it was Tiger and Phil.
Mm-hmm.
The second one was horrible because Bryson DeChambeau has the personality of a wet paper towel.
Right.
That was terrible. I don't want to watch that. I want to watch these 4 guys go out there and be funny and yuck it up, and then with about 4 holes to go, they flip the light switch, the competitive juices start flowing. I was praying Aaron Rodgers missed that last putt.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see a closest to the pin in a 12-hole golf exhibition. That's as locked into a sporting event as I have been in 3 months.
Right.
It's the first sporting event I have watched from pillar to post since the NFL season ended.
All right. How did you feel about the match? You can hit us up in the comment section on YouTube. The big story in the golf world, though, since yesterday, the news broke that Dustin Johnson is going to play in this Saudi tournament, and he got a boatload of money to do it. What does it mean for his relationship with the PGA? What does it mean for the future of the PGA? We'll get into that coming up next right here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We've got a front coming in from the west. Northwest winds, lower humidity into the weekend forecast behind this front, but some splash and dash thunderstorms ahead of the front. And we're ahead of the front tonight. 62 degrees our low with isolated storms. Hit or miss storms early Friday, high 76 degrees, and the front clears us Friday night down in the mid-50s. Lower humidity Saturday, sunshine, beautiful, high 78, low 56. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The toasted cheddar chalupa is back in town. And by in town, that means at Taco Bell. So if crispy bites of cheddar cheese toasted onto a flaky shell sounds delicious to you, get yourself a toasted cheddar chalupa at participating Taco Bell locations for a limited time only.
Here's to the great American settlers. The millions of you who settled for unsatisfying jobs because they pay the bills. Of course, there is something else you could do if you got something to say. Start a podcast with Spreaker from iHeart and unleash your creative freedom. Maybe even earn enough money to one day tell your old boss, "Hey, I'm no settler. I'm an explorer." Spreaker.com. Spreaker. Hustle on over today.
DQ presents the sound of an all-star summer lineup. Leading off, the promising rookie, new Oreo Dirt Pie. On deck, the fan favorite Girl Scout Thin Mints. Summer standouts, drumstick with peanuts and cotton candy. And batting cleanup, it's you. With your red spoon and 6 summer blizzard flavors, official treat of MLB. All part of the new DQ All-Star Summer Blizzard lineup. DQ? Happy tastes good.
So many people here are getting real lasting joint pain relief from QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I would recommend QC to anybody.
The work that QC Kinetics did paid off exponentially.
It brought me back to an effective age of almost in my 20s and 30s.
QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge regenerative medicine, natural biologics from your own body, precision treatments that can restore and repair damaged tissue in your aching joints, with no meds, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime.
I got a very quick resolution to my pain.
It is a all-natural therapy. You're using you to fix you.
I got my life back. I got my smile back. And best of all, I got my laugh back.
Don't live with that pain anymore. And don't let them tell you surgery is your only option. Learn more about regenerative options from the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
I love my Charmin Super Mega Golden Rolls, yeah. Gold last long, it's TP Gold, yeah. Charmin's got 6 rolls in one, lasts forever on my buns. Only Super Mega when I'm cleaning. Charmin's got my booty believing.
Charmin Super Mega Roll is 6 regular rolls in one. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The Sportsocracy.
We're just dumping a bag of hammers.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here in the Ingles Studio. Always brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Dustin Johnson, who has so many trophies already on the PGA Tour, doesn't really care about more trophies, apparently, and he's all about that bag. Because that's what he secured from the LIV Golf League, this Saudi Arabian-backed super league that has been touted for a while. We've talked about it ad nauseum of how is this going to affect the PGA and who's going to be the big name who takes the money and challenges the PGA. Well, apparently it's going to be Dustin Johnson.
And I cannot wait to watch the PGA backpedal on this. Because they're going to.
Yeah, Dustin Johnson got a contract worth around $125 million. It was, 100 million pounds, British pounds. So it translates roughly to $125 million. Guaranteed money to play on this tour. That's not the chance to win to $125 million in prizes. This is full on $125 million walking in the door, and then you get the prize money on top of that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is generational money.
Yep.
Now, let me ask you a question. How old's Dustin Johnson?
29?
37.
37?
He is 37
is he
years
that
old.
old.
He is.
Good Lord.
He is 37 years old.
Jeez.
Now, how many events has he played this PGA Tour season? Now, just understand, we have 2 more majors left.
4.
It's 11. Of the 11 he's played, he would be able to play 5 of them no matter what the PGA says. Because they're not the ones that legislate it. The USGA does.
Oh, the majors.
He can still play in the majors. So, and this was one of the and we didn't go deep into this because I wanted to see who the player was. Dustin Johnson is not the one I thought it would be, but now that I've seen it, I can't believe I didn't see it before.
Mm-hmm.
See, he's the one that makes all the sense. You get $125 million guaranteed dollars. So you're not going to be able to play in the Heritage or the Colonial or who cares? You're going to make more money doing this. It's not even – it won't even be close.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt about that. You can still play in the majors, and you're going to force the hand of the PGA Tour. Oh, you want to keep me out? Do that.
Yeah.
Because what will that do? This is one of those things that I've been watching this. I've watched the lead up to this going, I do not see how you don't see how this is going to go with the PGA Tour. Because what's that going to do? All right, so they came out and drew the line in the sand of we will sanction our players and if they go into this break-off league.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got Dustin Johnson, Louis Oosthuizen, a couple other guys, not really many guys that move the needle. Those are the 2 that moved it the most.
Right.
Sergio Garcia. What's it going to do when you draw that line in the sand?
I don't know. What?
Force eyeballs to the other tournament.
That's true.
That's all you're doing. That is all you're doing. Oh, we won't let them play in our tournaments. Okay. Are you going to watch Dustin Johnson play in London in some 4-man team shotgun start nonsense?
Yeah.
Of course you will. As a lay golf fan, of course you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it will go away the way the USFL did. I think you have just enough name power. And the PGA Tour has made this just enough of a thing. I'm going to make a weird comparison here. I love analogies. This is a lot like the friend that your spouse has at work. There's probably nothing going on.
Right.
But if you make a the bigger of a deal you make about it, the bigger of a problem it is going to create in your marriage.
Right.
Well, that's where the PGA Tour is.
Right, because you're taking something that is not a them, and then you're creating a them.
You're making a mountain out of a molehill.
Mm-hmm.
And I will guarantee you, Dustin Johnson probably didn't look at this and go, yeah, I want to do that off the jump. Then the money was thrown out there. And he went, what are you going to do?
Right.
Oh, you're not going to let me play in this handful of events? He plays about 20 tournaments a year. That's his average over the last 5 to 10 years.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going, instead of playing the 20 that I play now, I'm going to make more money playing their 8 and the 5 stateside that I can play in that the PGA can't do anything about. And I'm going to make exponentially more money.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That seems like the most hollow threat in the history of time. I'm going to force you to work less, and you're going to make more money.
Yeah.
You see how stupid that sounds when I say it that way?
Of course. Because it's only, 8 events
to
start out with?
There are 8 events in the first series of that tour.
Right. Which will grow the more names that they get.
Oh, and
I'm
I would,
sure that the more
and I
there will be more
promise
names.
you. Did you notice that there were only 42 names on that initial list?
No.
There's 42 names on the initial list. How many players are in the field?
No clue.
48. And I will bet you $1 to a donut. It's because they knew. When you see DJ's name, when you see Sergio's name, and we knew Sergio. That was the one that everybody knew.
Right.
You see Louis Oosthuizen's name, these fringe guys that were looking at it going, well, that's a lot of money. They're making calls. Mm-hmm. They're making calls saying, hey, can I still get in? I will bet you the 6 names that are left. First of all, Phil, I almost promise you is one of them.
Okay.
I don't care about the pushback, and we're going to talk about the pushback after the bottom of the hour.
Right.
I could see this field being really nice by the end of it.
Well, that was the one thing that we said they were going to have. We already know they have the monetary backing. See, that's the thing that none of these football leagues have ever had. They've never had the money. They've never been able to sustain because ticket sales and all that. You can't get the eyeballs on it to start out, so they're doomed from the start. Well, this Saudi Golf League, they have more money than God, apparently.
Oh, they have all the money that you could ever want to do exactly what they want to do.
And the second thing you needed was names. And now you have you have a multiple time major winner who's pulling in big money before the prize money, which is also going to be huge. They've already said, $5 million to the winner of the first event or something like that?
It's going to be a lot.
Yeah, it's
the prize pools are very, very large.
Yes. And that's one thing.
I mean, this is major level. This is major level purses in every event, and there's only 8 of them.
Right.
So now I feel like if you're the PGA, you've painted yourself in a corner. I mean, you can tell guys not to do this all you want to. Say this out loud. Your employer looks at you and says, you can't take a side job that's going to pay you more money and you work less. Well, you can't come back to work if you go there. Okay, they're paying me more money and I get more days off.
Right.
See ya.
Gone.
And that's exactly what Dustin Johnson has done.
Mm-hmm. And how much will there be blowback from that? From the PGA, from the fans, from sponsors? We've already seen he's on rocky footing, apparently, with RBC.
RBC's let him go.
They let him go fully?
RBC and UPS have both let him go.
I had seen where they had asked him not to wear their stuff, wear their logos at the Saudi events, but I had not seen that they had completely cut ties with him.
They have completely cut ties.
Okay, so RBC's gone. Will there be more coming? We'll talk about that up next, right here on ESPN Asheville. But first, let's get just a bit outside.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
The NBA Finals are here. Game 1 tonight at the Chase Center. They're in San Francisco. The Golden State Warriors will take on the Boston Celtics. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. And when it comes NBA Finals time, everybody wants to bring their A game. That's not only for the players on the court, the owners of the team, the coaches, the referees. It's also for the broadcast crew. And unfortunately, we're not going to get the A team for the broadcast tonight because of
coronavirus.
We've got COVID apparently spreading amongst the crew. Mike Greene, the lead play-by-play guy for the NBA Finals, game analyst Jeff Van Gundy, and Woj will not be available tonight for Game 1 of the NBA Finals because of coronavirus issues. There's no word that anybody is sick. Jeff Van Gundy seemed very hoarse the other night in his last broadcast, and that threw up some flags. That threw up red flags, but now we're left with the only guy from the ESPN #1 team, Mark Jackson. He's the only one going to be the usual voice tonight on the broadcast. But hopefully it's only for a game. Then nobody cares. I mean, let's be honest. You're going to watch the NBA Finals. I mean, if you're into the NBA and you're into the Finals, you're going to watch regardless of who's calling the game. It's not really going to take a whole lot away from the broadcast, I wouldn't imagine. ESPN has a nice stable of broadcasters that are going to be able to fill in admirably for just the moment. But, PJ Carlissimo. He's going to be doing the radio, so he wasn't available. Doris Burke, same thing. Mark Kestisher, which I feel like you should have bumped the radio crew. Like, why can't the radio guys get any love?
Yeah, we don't get love. We don't get the love for these things.
Right. There is always some truth to that you've got a face for radio thing.
We are proof positive of that.
Right. You always are better on the audio side than so much the visual side. But hopefully everybody's going to be back for Game 2 in San Francisco on Sunday.
We have our first billionaire in the NBA. LeBron James has officially become the first active NBA player to have a net worth of $1 billion.
Nobody's surprised.
Made $121 million from May of 21 to May of 2022.
Wow.
He is the third NBA player to ever reach a total net worth of over $1 billion. Mm-hmm. Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan both did it, but it was after they retired.
Right.
One of these days, I'm going to understand how exactly the money in the NBA is this large. One day I will get it. I don't currently, and I'm going to use this to tie in a comment and exactly where I'm headed with the next thing we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Patrick Holt asked in our YouTube comments, have we seen the ratings for the NBA? Yep. You're below 6 million viewers for your highest watch games.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I mean, it's okay. Anytime you start hearing the comparison to 2020 or 2021, you know it's not good.
Right.
And they don't want you to look past like 2015. Don't go back any further. That's not good. Cord cutting and bad things like that.
Right.
I will never understand how interest in this league has never been less. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
I have never in my life seen a more nondescript season for one of the major sports. You're taking out baseball. Yeah, baseball, you did this to yourself.
Your own problems, yeah.
You did this to yourself. What was the big story of the NBA year?
The thing that was most talked about, I think, was the Kyrie Irving thing.
And that's kind of my point.
Yeah.
I can't, in good conscience, not hammer the NBA when I've hammered Major League Baseball for the same thing for years.
Mm-hmm.
When your biggest stories have nothing to do with what happens in the game, you have a problem.
Right.
And now, I believe this LeBron James thing creates a problem as well.
What's that?
Who's the second most marketable player in the NBA?
Ooh. Second most marketable?
You see the problem with that?
Yeah, I was thinking, it's not Giannis.
That's where the problem lies.
It's not Jokic.
You have a 38-year-old guy that is without a doubt the face of your league, and you don't have a next man up.
I would say maybe Steph,
who's 34.
Right, he's
he and
also
I are the same
gonna be
age.
gone soon.
I don't. He could be on either side of that, but obviously, I had my own interaction with him, so I know we're roughly the same age.
Right.
And then what?
You got a point.
Where you
KD?
go now? Who's also 34 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And then what? I'm just seeing a storm brewing here that I don't know how you're going to get out of it.
Right.
Because there's no villain. Sports are good when there's a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady has been the villain in the NFL for 22 years. I know he made a deal with the devil. I get it. He has hurt no one as often as he has hurt me. I get it. But it still makes it interesting. It's just like a movie. There has to be a bad guy.
Of course.
Nobody's watching a movie where everybody's just holding hands and skipping through a field singing "Let the Sun Shine In."
Right.
Nobody cares. There needs to be a bad guy.
Right, and even movies like that have, you said it, so Sound of Music. There were Nazis in the Sound of Music. They were the villains.
Oh,
Everybody.
I thought you were headed for an Aaron Rodgers joke there, which is totally where I was headed. If there is a movie like that, somebody would have to hang out with Aaron Rodgers to enjoy it.
Right.
Just see a problem.
A little bit of a problem with the NBA.
I just don't see where the intrigue is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see where that's what you always have to look at with these tide changes. The old guard goes out.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw, I'll be honest with you, this is going to sound like I'm reaching. I really don't feel like I am. I think we saw a little of that last night. You got Tom and Aaron. This is the old guard.
Mm-hmm.
They are way closer to the 19th hole drinking beers in the clubhouse than they are to the tee off on one.
No doubt.
Not even close.
One's 12 months away from it. The other one could be.
So what do? You bring in these two young guys. Josh Allen, who I'm going to be honest with you, has the personality of a cell phone case. And it showed, but he still did just enough to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
None of these other sports seem to be developing that. And long term, that's a problem. A big problem.
I would agree. I mean, the NBA has its stars, but you don't have that one marketable face. And I think the international guys have a lot to do with that, because the international guys have kind of taken over the sport as the biggest stars.
I would argue the next 4 on that list are all international guys.
Mm-hmm. You got Giannis, you got Luka, you got Jokic. Who
Embiid.
am I forgetting? Embiid, yeah. I can't do it. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, yeah, he played at Kansas, but he's an international guy as well.
Right. That's why I'm like, for some reason I don't think of him as that way, because he played in college. We got to know him for a year at Kansas.
Kinda. You got to see him for a minute, and then he got hurt, and you went, hey, that guy was really good.
He was really good. But next up, is it going to be Zion?
There's a path to that. There is a path to that.
Well, you got to play games first to make that happen.
Well, and that's kind of the
his
problem.
big problem. His big problem is his availability.
Your greatest ability is your availability.
Right. So what's the fallout from Dustin Johnson getting $125 million to go play in the LIV Saudi-backed special super golf league thing? I still think you need a better name for it. What does LIV stand for anyway? Nobody knows. Nobody cares.
I do know, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
It's not important. $125 million guaranteed to Dustin Johnson. That is no prize money included in that number. And what kind of a problem does this create? Because obviously the PGA wants to make this big deal about it, but I don't think that golf fans really care. Now, I'm not the seasoned golf fan, so I don't count. I'm interested just to see how this goes. But are diehard PGA fans, do they care that this new league is around and that somebody is thumbing their nose, so to speak, at Patrick Monahan?
I would say the average golf fan does not care that there's another league. I'm going to be honest with you. What I'm getting ready to say is not going to be real popular with certain people.
Okay.
And I'm going to say this as nicely as I can. Get over it, because it's the truth. The big kerfuffle with this LIV Golf League is that it is basically an arm of the Saudi Arabian government. That's who's running it. And if you want to be upset and boycott it because of that, totally get it. Do you have that same bullish mentality with the NBA? Because if you do, more power to you. You won't watch the NBA because of their interactions in China and the things that they do? Okay. What I cannot stand, and I've listened to this since the Dustin Johnson news came out with a lot of people that do what we do. Oh, how could you ever do that? As you're talking about the NBA.
Right.
You literally stop talking about one to talk about this. One outrages you and one doesn't. You're disingenuous. That's the only way I can say that. Mm-hmm. You can't be mad at one and not be mad at the other. Doesn't work that way. Flat out does not work that way. If you are, get it. If you're not and you don't want to do the political side of it, I get it.
Yeah.
You can't play both sides of that fence. You just can't do it. And I want to name names here so bad I can't stand it, but I'm not going to.
You protect the names of the
well, I mean, you can figure it out. It's not that hard to figure out.
Right. To me, I don't care. To me, I think it adds something new. It adds something that the PGA's never had, which is competition.
And I agree with that. Here's we have branded this show since the first day we did it as we don't talk about political things. Mm-hmm. And here's why. I don't think about those things. I could not tell you half of the owners in any of these sports. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because it has nothing to do with the entertainment value of this.
Right.
It does to some people, and you're entitled for that to go that way. Doesn't work that way with me. Is this going to be an entertaining event? Then I'll watch it because it's entertainment. I don't need to know the backstory of everything. It has nothing to do with me.
Right.
I don't worry about the political views of an actor. Why would I care where the money in a golf league comes from?
And I get where people would be taken aback by that. Oh, it's Saudi money. They had, they have a lot of backwards ways and all that kind of stuff. I get that part of it. I mean, look,
these are horrid people. I'm not in any way saying that they're not.
Sure, but when it comes to the actual enjoyment of the sport, does it really matter? Does it really matter to the average fan?
Here would be my question. Why is this such a big deal now? And the only thing I can come back to is because the PGA knows this is a threat.
Yeah.
They know this is a threat. If this London event happens, and it by the way, does happen, on the day of a PGA event, where is the number going to skew to? It's going to go to the new side. Now, will that stay that way? I can't answer that.
It might.
The first week, there's no doubt they will destroy them. They will destroy them.
Maybe they will, because it's the RBC Heritage, the one in Canada?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
I can't remember the event that is, but I know it's a smaller event on the schedule.
I think that's the one that it conflicts with, and, it's not a tournament that's going to get eyeballs anyway. And the LIV would be stupid to have one of their events on a major day. It's like the NFL.
And you're not going to do that.
Right.
I have 8 dates. I can cherry pick the 8 worst weekends of your schedule, and that's exactly what they did.
Right. I mean, it's like the NBA scheduling things on days that the NFL plays. Like, they know they're just going to get killed. And it would be the same way with the LIV, where they'd do that during major time.
Oh, by the way, Armchair Commentary has answered the what does the name mean?
Okay.
LIV is the Roman numeral for 54.
Right.
Which is also the perfect score theoretically in golf.
Oh, see, it makes sense now.
That's a 3 on every hole. Nobody's ever come close to doing that, but according to the interwebs.
I didn't think they named it after the Super Bowl that the Atlanta Falcons tanked. I'm sorry, I had to get it in there. It's just one of those things. Anyhow.
Just had to take a shot at the Falcons. And they were feeling good. They get the throwback helmets back. Atlanta was having a good day.
Which I am all here for. Those red helmets with the black and white stripes down the middle and the black Falcon, all about it. I just hope they don't wear those FUBU-looking jerseys.
No. They're wearing the throwback jerseys.
Good.
Yeah, they're only wearing them one time. But this is full throwback. Old school jerseys with it. I will say,
Sanders.
And you're not going to like this, and I already know it.
Yeah.
They changed the helmet just a little bit, and now there's a gold stripe in the middle. You're not going to like it. I know you well enough that as soon as I saw that, I went, that'll be the first thing he says.
I saw the shot. I didn't notice a gold stripe down the middle.
There is the white stripe that was in the middle, because it was a white. There was a black stripe with a white on the outside. Now it's got a gold on the outside.
Ah. Yeah, I don't care. Still looks cool, and I'm glad that you're doing it. But some people may feel, some fans may hold it against Dustin Johnson and never be a Dustin Johnson fan ever again. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm so new to the golf game that I don't see it that way.
Well, it's not that you're new to it. It's that there are just people that, and they tend to have blue check marks on Twitter, that don't understand that there are a percentage of us that watch sports to sheerly be entertained. I do not care who the quarterback of the New England Patriots is dating. I don't care. I don't care where Robert Kraft got his money. I don't care. That has nothing to do with this. And there are just certain people that can compartmentalize that way. I'm not saying it's bad if you can't. That's your right.
Right.
There's just some people that don't. And Dustin Johnson's a 37-year-old guy that just married his longtime girlfriend, who just so happens to be the daughter of the greatest hockey player that ever lived, and somebody threw more money at him than he could spend in 3 lifetimes.
See, I feel the same way about those people doing that as I do about the people who hate, or refuse to go see Top Gun because Tom Cruise is a crazy person. Because of the Scientology
I
stuff.
completely forgot that until somebody mentioned it to me the other day.
The Scientology thing?
Well, I don't know anything about that. I don't even know what that really – if I was being honest, I don't even know what that means. I was thinking about him jumping up and down on Oprah's couch and the Katie Holmes thing. I forgot all of that.
But there are some people that feel that way. Like my wife refuses. She will not watch anything with Tom Cruise in it because he's a crazy person. And apparently she sided with Katie Holmes in the breakup. I don't know what that's all about, but some people care about those things. And then there are people who are like, I don't care. The dude makes great movies. Great being loosely used.
Apparently, the Top Gun movie is great.
I've heard
it is
only
apparently
fantastic
great
things.
I'm going to have to go watch this, but it's such a commitment.
You need to watch the first one first.
That's where I was headed. Is now I got to watch the first one.
Which, really, you should have.
And then I'm going to play the fun game of where is Fat Val Kilmer in the second one.
Is he in it?
I think his voice is in it. I don't think he's actually in the movie.
I don't think his voice is in it. You wouldn't be able to tell. You haven't seen Val Kilmer in a while, have you?
Oh, Val Kilmer makes me look like Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah, he's not in good shape.
No, he's not.
And I would highly recommend the documentary that's out there. I think it's on Amazon. It's just Val, and it's the story of what happened to him and what he's doing now. But yeah, he's had throat cancer and all this. It's not good. Not good. I hope he does get a cameo in it at some point.
I think somebody told me his voice is in it.
Okay.
That could be completely wrong, and it could be a throwback to the first movie. I have no idea.
I was going to say, like a flashback to the first movie or something. I don't know. Anyhow, we've trailed off down a rabbit hole. Where's my rabbit? You got all these fancy animations and still have no rabbit.
It's hard to find a rabbit.
Go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link so you can see us on YouTube every time that we are live.
I can have an Easter bunny, but he's got eggs. There are no eggs. I just need a rabbit and a hole.
And when we come back, Jeremy will give you the picks of the night in Greene on Greene.
Just keep your eye on the ball. At Ingles, we know that big dreams don't always make it to the big leagues. But we also know that baseball, it's family. It's about building character. And as sure as there'll be some stumbles on that journey from first to home, we'll be right there, cheering you on. This is baseball, and this is who we are. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
This is a weekly test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
As a marketer, you want to reach everyone, adults, teens, millennials, but it's not like these groups all hang out in the same place, right? Actually wrong. They're all right here, listening to radio commercials just like this one. Radio ads connect with 93% of Americans every week. That's more than Google, more than Facebook, more than TV. In fact, radio reaches 20% more millennials than TV. Want more of the people you want to talk to all in one place? Visit iHeartAdvertising.com and get AM/FM working for you. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Spots are still available for the Brad Johnson Celebrity Golf Classic, Tuesday, June 7th at the Cliffs Walnut Cove.
Hey, this is Super Bowl champion quarterback Brad Johnson. I hope you will support Evelyn Charities and join me for a great round of golf, food, and fun at the Cliffs Walnut Cove on Tuesday, June 7th.
100% of the proceeds go to help those in need right here in Asheville and Western North Carolina through Evelyn Charities. For more information and to get signed up, go to eblencharities.org. That's EBLEN charities.org.
Can't wait to see you.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with little tips for a healthier planet. A staggering 8 million tons of plastic ends up in the world's oceans every year. If current trends continue, our oceans could contain more plastic than fish by 2050. Do your part. Purchase items made from renewable or recycled content and recycle whenever possible. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/earth.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Hey everyone, I'm CJ Toledano.
And I'm Alex Wong. If you want a podcast about the NBA and everything that's taking place off the court, I'm talking about fashion, I'm talking about social media, I'm talking about favorite post-game quotes, we've got you.
You know we're talking about starter jackets, Alex.
Yeah, I know, and you're going to remind me about the Charlotte Hornets one that my parents never bought me.
Ooh, I'm sorry about that.
Anyways, check out Running the Break with CJ and Alex on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
TrackPhone wants to know, are you an influencer? A big live streamer? No? Then guess what? You don't need an endless data plan. Get just the right amount of data with TrackPhone's new $40 unlimited talk and text smartphone plan. Now with 8 gigs of high-speed data and unlimited carryover on America's largest, most dependable network, now with 5G. Get the data you need at the price you want. TrackPhone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. 5G compatible device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at trackphone.com.
Coffee's for closers only. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
It's winding down. We only have a few more of these before football season because I absolutely refuse to wager on baseball. 4 picks for you tonight. We're back to 160, 158, and 6 for the year. 4 picks for you. The first one, the Boston Celtics take on the Golden State Warriors tonight. Boston's a 3.5-point dog. Over-under is 214.5. I'm really torn on this series. Currently, 87% of the money is on Golden State. FPI has Boston as an 86% favorite to win this series. Mm-hmm. And for once, I think the analytics are right. I like Boston, and I think they're going to steal one of these games in Golden State, and I'm not so sure that it's not tonight. I'm taking Boston. I'm taking Boston plus the 3.5. I'm not confident enough to say they're going to win outright, and I'm going to go under the 214.5. Also, we have hockey tonight between the Edmonton Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche. I'm going to cling to something I said in a previous series. Goaltender seems to be really important as a lay hockey fan. Colorado doesn't have theirs. Edmonton does have theirs. And they have the best player in hockey. I'm going to go out on a limb and take the Edmonton Oilers plus 1.5 under 7 total goals.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
Take those wagers to bethouse.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy and get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put in, up to $2,500. Whole lot of free play money there up for grabs at bethouse.com. Again, just use the promo code Sportsocracy. I have been losing a lot of weight, and it has done me wonders. I am moving faster. I am wanting to get more active. I feel more confident about myself around the pool. Yeah, Memorial Day weekend, the pool opened back up, and I'm not saying I'm strutting around the pool because I still got some things to take care of, but with more than 66 pounds down in 25 weeks with the PhD weight loss program, I'm feeling better about who I am, and they could do the same for you.
One of my problems was always, who's shocked? I'm a little lazy. That led to bad eating habits, which led me to being overweight, which caused a series of problems in my life. Just half a year on this program with PhD, I'm sleeping better than I've slept in my entire adult life. I'm walking golf courses, which I used to make fun of people for.
Right.
Why would you walk when you can take a cart? Now I'm one of those people, and it's all thanks to the program, food, and schedule from PhD Weight Loss.
MyPhDweightLoss.com. I know everybody says this about their program, but this is my program, and it can change your life. MyPhDweightLoss.com, and don't forget, PhD Weight Loss, now the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans. Coming up in the next hour, after Sports Center update, we will be back with you in just a couple of minutes to talk about David Tepper and the real estate company that was building that big monstrosity of a practice training facility down in Rock Hill, South Carolina, is now filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. What's the fallout from all of that? Plus, we'll talk about the NBA Finals. We'll give you a preview of that. We've got a journeyman quarterback in the NFL who is calling it quits.
Legend.
He's quite legendary, at least when you consider his beard.
Oh, the beard's the top 5 beards in the history of sports.
It's him and Brett Casel. And yeah, I'm done with that. We'll think more about that. We'll do Ultimate Beards in the next hour as well. Coming up here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We've got a front coming in from the west. Northwest winds, lower humidity into the weekend forecast behind this front, but some splash and dash thunderstorms ahead of the front. And we're ahead of the front tonight. 62 degrees our low with isolated storms. Hit or miss storms early Friday, high 76 degrees. And the front clears us Friday night down in the mid-50s. Lower humidity Saturday. Sunshine, beautiful. High 78, low 56. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hey, DQ fans. Make sure to cast your vote for the official combo meal of MLB at DQ.com. With Tim Anderson's Burger and Blizzard Meal and Bryce Harper's Burger and Blizzard Meal, you just have to try both. Vote for your favorite at DQ.com. Happy tastes good.
Ready to do this.
Get ready. Our iHeartRadio Music Festival is back.
This festival is insane to bring all these different types of music together.
Can you believe all the artists performing?
The best fans in the world with the biggest stars from all walks of music under one roof.
Be here as our 2022 iHeartRadio Music Festival lineup is revealed. Tuesday morning at 8.
Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. At Allstate, better protection costs a whole lot less. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
On Sunday, June 12th, get set for a brand new race, the RAD Half Marathon and 10K. Both races start in downtown Asheville at Pack Square, run through city parks where there'll be live music, across the French Broad River, through the woods, and finishing up in the River Arts District. Plus, you'll get a cool shirt, free goodies, and an awesome finisher medal. Part of the proceeds benefit the Asheville Humane Society and the I Dream Athletes Foundation. For more information and to get signed up, visit idaph.net, idaph.net. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia Asheville.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
123 games of NBA Finals experience on the roster. The Celtics have a combined 0 games of Finals experience. Tonight in San Francisco, Game 1 for Boston and Golden State. ESPN's Monica McNutt says the Celtics role players must play well.
It's going to be really interesting with the Robert Williams, Grant Williams thing because that we got to see like how they're going to guard Draymond, and if the Warriors are a little bit smaller, will Robert Williams be on the floor?
Monica McNutt on Bart and Hahn. Game 1 coverage of the NBA Finals starts at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ABC. Quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick is retiring from the NFL after playing for 9 teams over his 17-year career. Last year with Washington, he suffered a season-ending hip injury in Week 1. 18-year-old American Coco Gauff is the youngest woman to reach a Grand Slam final since Maria Sharapova back in 2004. After winning her semifinal today, Gauff will play number 1 seed Iga Swiatek for the French Open title.
A shorthanded summer staff calls for Indeed. Their hiring platform helps attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
And here for the second hour of the program on this Thursday afternoon, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy, always heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Take us anywhere you go, live or on demand. And we're always brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets. Ingles, low prices, love the savings. Don't forget to watch us on YouTube as well. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link. Once you get through to YouTube, you can like the video, share it out with your friends. You can subscribe to the channel as well. That gets you into the chat where you can communicate with us immediately.
And one of our wonderful listeners, Armchair Commentary, has given us a topic for after the show.
Okay.
First super chat of the day said Muggsy Bogues, Jeremy Roenick, David Wells, and Ray Lewis play golf. That's his dream. Celebrity foursome. Sign me up.
Really?
So that's going to be the social media question for after the show.
Is Jeremy Rennick a good golfer?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's he's the one of those four that are really good.
Okay.
He's always played in that celebrity golf tournament.
I still don't understand why Romo hasn't been in one of these.
I don't think they invite him because he would eviscerate
He
most
would lap
of these.
the field. Romo, Steph Curry,
John Smoltz, and Mark Mulder. That's probably the four best.
I forgot about Smoltzy.
Oh, Smoltzy's fantastic.
He is. He's a great golfer.
He's in his 50s, and he would smoke practically anybody you have ever played golf with.
That's a good one. Does it have to be limited to sports, though?
No.
Because I would go comedians. I want to see comedians on the golf court.
Bill Burr.
I want to see Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
And Tom Segura against, I don't know, is Ricky Gervais a golfer? He's one of my favorite comedians, but I don't know. I don't see him as much of an athlete.
And you do see Bert Kreischer as one.
No, but
Bert and I think, would have a blast on a golf course.
But Bert is physical. Like, he's physical enough in his comedy. And if you've seen any of the old shows that he used to do, of the Bert Goes Wild show that he had on the Travel Channel, any of that stuff, I mean, he's very physically active. He's like not quite the athlete that Chris Farley was, but because I've never seen him do handsprings and things, I still feel like he would fall into that category. Anyhow, yeah, so celebrity foursome golf tournament. Hit us up in the comments on the YouTube channel. We'll shout those out throughout this hour of the program. Big news today, everybody flipping out. Oh, my God, David Tepper, the owner of the Carolina Panthers, has filed for bankruptcy. Well, I mean, that's the thing with billionaires and their financials. This is just the one segment of what he does. This has no effect on his standing as an NFL owner or how much money he has to operate the team.
Oh, no, the NFL's already come out and said this has nothing to do with the ownership group of the team.
So he set up GT Real Estate Holdings, LLC, to do the building of the training facility that was going to be housed or homed or whatever down in Rock Hill, South Carolina. As we reported on this program, and you've heard on every other radio program that covers the Carolina Panthers, talk about the deal that fell through with Rock Hill. Rock Hill promised some tax breaks and things like that and some infrastructure improvements that they didn't meet up to their standards or to the standards of David Tepper and the GT Real Estate Holdings, LLC, so they shut the project down. This is from the official word here. GT Real Estate Holdings LLC had liabilities between $100 million and $500 million, and assets between $100 million and $500 million, and 49 creditors. They're going to go before a judge. The judge will see to it that the creditors are paid back.
That's a lot of liability.
This is just David Tepper.
$500 million is
hands.
a lot of liability.
Oh, sure. But this was going to be a massive project that we still really don't know who dropped the ball on this. I feel like Rock Hill reneged on what they said they were going to do, and David Tepper said, okay, we don't really need this facility.
There just seems to be a lot of noise around David Tepper.
Yeah.
I have long been of the belief, and look, I'm a Jets fan. That's the one team that really gets all of the feelies from me.
Right.
I've never loved Woody Johnson. Didn't love when he got into politics. Mm-hmm. But at least it's quiet around him. David Tepper's not had a great week.
No.
Between the Rock Hill thing, the football club thing. No. I don't know. Have you heard that story?
No.
So 14 games in, he fires the coach.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can figure out why. They're like 2 points out of the playoffs. I think that's the standings are scored like hockey, so I'm gonna go with that. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me.
I think you're right.
Well, it came out yesterday that the reason is they have these, and I'm not going to explain this well, but there are international players that come over after a certain period of time. Well, apparently one of those players that's coming to Charlotte said, I'm not playing for that guy. And so they had to fire him.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good. Being a completely lay soccer fan, That's not good. And where I'm headed with this is more in my wheelhouse of what I do know. How many stadiums in the NFL are older than the Panthers' current stadium?
I would say the Buffalo Bills.
That's one of them, and that's already done. That deal has already been signed, sealed, delivered. Right. That is coming in the coming few years.
Right, 2026, I think was the.
I think was the target date there.
Was the target date? I would say there's probably maybe 2 more.
6.
Oh, there's 6 more.
I was shocked that there were that.
Are there 6
many.
Total, or are there 7 total? Are you saying there's 6?
There's
on top
6
of the
that
one?
are older than the
right.
Panther Stadium.
All right, so
them and the Jaguars are tied with each other.
So 5 more plus the Bills Stadium.
And I feel like David Tepper is a phenomenal person from everything I've ever been told.
Okay.
He's also a phenomenal businessman. And when things tend to go awry, and I think anybody could admit this is not going exactly how you wanted it to. There's been a lot of bad press in a very short period of time. What people with massive influence and massive power and massive money tend to do when things have gone that way, I'm going to go get a win. There's only one really comfortable win on the table for him, and that's stadium. That's stadium. I feel like this bankruptcy deal has come out because he's found somewhere else to go. Couldn't tell you where it is. It's obviously not in Rock Hill. I've read that a couple times. Well, they could reinvestigate this. When you have $500 million in liability, you're not investigating that deal.
Right.
That deal's dead.
Yeah, Rock Hill, according to David Tepper's words, Rock Hill has burned the bridge on that.
Yeah.
So he's not going to go back to Rock Hill to build his stadium. I think they still, all the talk I've ever heard about a new stadium in Charlotte or in the Charlotte area has always been the huge plot of land down near Carowinds.
Yes.
On the South Carolina-North Carolina border. That's always the place that they talk about having a stadium, but then you got so many people from down there say, oh, this is a horrible area to have a stadium. You're going to have a lot of problems like you do with the Tampa Bay Rays getting people to the Trop out in St. Petersburg because the traffic's going to be terrible and all that.
That is the most comically stupid argument.
It's the NFL. It's a different
weird.
animal.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't seem to struggle to get people in the stadium.
Yeah, but their stadium's downtown.
Yeah, and I get that. The traffic's still a disaster.
Yeah.
You've been to that town. I've been to that town. The traffic around that stadium is a disaster.
It's not the greatest.
Name me, I don't know how many stadiums you've been to. I've been to a good number. Name me the one that you're like, man, this is real easy. I just drove right in, drove right out.
Right.
There's doesn't exist.
Right, there's not one. I've even been to several games at the Trop, and I don't see the problem. Like
the Jets and the Giants built a stadium that is literally right beside where the dump of New Jersey used to be. Never really had a problem.
Right.
None of that matters. You just have to find a spot to get it done. And I feel like the timing of this is very ironic. What is that line I always say? Who wants you to know that? Why would you file for this right now? This has been happening for months. To my knowledge, everything I've read, there's nothing new that has happened here.
So is this sending the signal?
No.
Okay.
This is This is a wealthy guy compartmentalizing, going, okay, that's done. We're on to new things.
Sure.
Because I got this over here, whatever this is, and I'm going to deal with this, and we'll cut the check over here to allow that mistake to go away.
Yeah. For a guy that's worth $9 billion, and who knows what the total is on all of his businesses.
I'll make a sweeping declaration. I'll bet you anything that you want to throw my way, they have a stadium deal done by the end of the year.
Could possibly. They could possibly have a stadium deal done, but I just don't know. I mean, I used to do politics with a guy who knows all things Charlotte politics, and I don't know how much help you're going to get from Charlotte to do that. And that's the thing that's been standing in it. See, that's why when I originally saw he's pulling out of the deal with Rock Hill, to me, if it's a political thing, could be I'm not saying this is the intention, but it could be a signal to Charlotte of you're going to have to pony up and you're going to have to stick to your agreements because I am a multi-billionaire worth $9 billion and I can cut loose anytime.
Oh, he's been posturing for that for quite some time. And I'm sure this is the first time we've ever really dealt with this. I mean, yeah, the Hornets, I get it. There's a big difference between the NBA in the late 90s, early 2000s, and the NFL right now.
Yep.
If David Tepper goes to this city and says, here's the thing, I can get out of here in a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Ball's in your court. I have a funny feeling there will be an agreement of some kind.
Could be. What's it going to cost? That'll be a story for a different day.
Stadiums at this point, your minimum $1.5 billion, $2 billion.
Sure.
Minimum.
And he doesn't do anything small potatoes.
Yeah, you're not going to. This will be a.
It's going to be full on climate controlled dome, all that kind of stuff because he wants to use it for other things.
And I've always laughed at. And I swear to you, I'm not intentionally trying to do political things today. I'm really not.
Okay.
I've always laughed at people that said, "Oh, I don't want taxpayer dollars to." You do realize how much these things make, right? Like you get that,
right?
Having an arena like that in Charlotte. I don't know how into music you are, but Luke Combs just did Mile High Field. Did you see how many people were there? Oh, I know the number. It was 86,000 people.
That's a bunch.
That's quite a bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what David Tepper sees. That's the reason he's not going to back down on this.
Right.
Charlotte's still a major market. But it's a major market that has never played with the other major markets. The difference between Charlotte and Atlanta is not as grandiose as people make it out to be. The problem is that you've never had somebody like a David Tepper that came in with the money to facilitate all these things.
Mm-hmm.
So is it going to cost you a little bit now? Absolutely.
Yep.
But in the long run, it will be well worth it. This is not a game you want to play.
Right. In our comments, LA State Road says Dale Mabry is a parking lot on game days. That's the road where the Tampa Bay Stadium is, Dale Mabry Boulevard.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. I've never been there on game days. So I don't know what that's all about.
I've been to every stadium you can comfortably drive to from here that has an NFL team.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one that's not an absolute disaster, and it's Nissan Field in Nashville.
Okay.
And the reason for that is I've never actually driven to the stadium. I've stayed on the other side, and then you can comfortably just get over there.
Oh, right.
So I never had to deal with the traffic.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you drive in there, I'm sure it's a nightmare.
Sure.
They're all a nightmare.
Of course it is.
I've always laughed at that. The reason the Tampa Bay Rays don't draw is because the stadium's in the wrong section of town. Okay. Sure it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't make way more sense that you put a baseball team that's less than 25 years old in a city that is a copious number of transplants that already had other teams.
Right.
Because you don't seem to struggle to sell when the Yankees are in town.
Right.
Because you got a lot of New Yorkers that have moved to Florida for the golden years.
Well, and the people in Tampa grew up with the Yankees. The Yankees were their team because that's where the spring training facility has been since the 1950s. So that's always been a problem for Tampa as well. But, yeah, they've always tried to make sense of why can't we bring people into the game because our teams are competitive for the most part.
Call the Savannah Bananas. I promise you, they'll get people in the stadium.
That feels like that needs to be a journey. We need to go to a Savannah Bananas game.
That's an excuse to go to Savannah. I'm all the way in.
True. I mean, because they've figured out how to do baseball right.
You could tell me that I was driving to Savannah, and when I got there, somebody was going to hit me in the head with a 9-iron, and I'd go, when do we leave?
Yeah.
It's tonight? Do we try to beat the traffic?
But I think that's part of Major League Baseball's problem, is that they don't have enough of that. You don't have that connection like you do with minor league teams to be able to bring people in and make it a show. I mean, you have your little games and stuff between innings, but does that really draw anybody?
No.
Give me something special. Give me something I've never seen before.
The comparison between a Major League Baseball team and what the Carolina Panthers would draw is it's apples and oranges. As a matter of fact, it's not even apples and oranges because it's like apples and soda cans.
Yeah.
It's not even the same material.
Unless you're a heritage team. Unless you're the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Red Sox. All those teams pull in great numbers.
And even, I think you said the Yankees wrong. That's the only one that makes money like an NFL team does. I mean, you got to think, how many more home dates do you get? And these NFL teams are still making more money than you.
Sure.
So it's, to me, not even in the ballpark outside of the Yankees.
Right.
So for me, this was a great big signal from David Tepper of, I'm done playing games. Yep. I need a win, and I'm going to get one way or the other. So just don't play this game. I love having this team here.
I do too.
Just get it done. It's too good for too many people involved. Mm-hmm. Are there going to be logistical headaches? Absolutely. It's a developed city. You're not just going to find some 400-acre tract of land and go, well, look, we can put it right there.
Right.
And we do this every single time a stadium comes up.
Mm-hmm.
And the taxpayers, I don't want to pay for it. Why? Why do you not want to pay for it?
Because I don't like football.
And? Do you like money going into your city?
Do you like jobs?
I wasn't even going down the jobs path.
Jobs are good.
Jobs are good. Money's good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It's all good. It's a win-win, win-win-win. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Yes, we got a journeyman quarterback who's calling it quits. We'll talk about that up next here on ESPN Asheville, live from the Ingles Studio.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We've got a front coming in from the west. Northwest winds, lower humidity into the weekend forecast behind this front, but some splash and dash thunderstorms ahead of the front. And we're ahead of the front tonight. 62 degrees our low with isolated storms. Hit or miss storms early Friday, high 76 degrees. And the front clears us Friday night down in the mid-50s. Lower humidity Saturday. Sunshine, beautiful. High 78, low 56. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is crawling 26 eastbound approaching Brevard Road to the French Broad River. 26 on the westbound side is stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276 near Waynesville. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road slow. Sweeten Creek Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. Hendersonville Road moving well. Charlotte Highway no problems. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag. Wendy's Biggie Bag is still just $5. Get a double-stacked junior bacon cheeseburger or crispy chicken BLT plus 4-piece nugs, small fries, and a small drink. Grab your bag at Wendy's today. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
17 million veterans have served our country. Coming home and healing may be the longest and hardest battle they face. Since 9/11, 100,000 veterans have died by suicide. Hundreds of thousands more suffer from the invisible wounds of war. It's time to act. Home Base provides 21st century world-class care to veterans and their families from across the country at no cost. To get care or find out how you can help, visit homebase.org/iHeart. Their mission is complete. Ours has just begun.
Here's to the great American settlers, the millions of you who settled for unsatisfying jobs because they pay the bills. Of course, there is something else you could do if you got something to say. Start a podcast with Spreaker from iHeart and unleash your creative freedom. Maybe even earn enough money to one day tell your old boss, hey, I'm no settler, I'm an explorer. Spreaker.com, Spreaker. Hustle on over today.
There's a lot of talk about the COVID-19 vaccines, and everyone has an opinion. So I went to somebody I already trusted, my doctor. Talk to your doctor or healthcare provider and make the decision that's right for you. Go to getvaccineanswers.org for the latest information. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
O'Reilly. Restore shine and protect your interior with Armor All cleaning and protectant wipes at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, buy 2 canisters of Armor All wipes and get 1 free. Plus, you'll earn double O Rewards points. Clean, shine, and protect with Armor All wipes available at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Just keep your eye on the ball.
At Ingles, we know that big dreams don't always make it to the big leagues. But we also know that baseball, it's family. It's about building character. And as sure as there'll be some stumbles on that journey from first to home, we'll be right there, cheering you on. This is baseball, and this is who we are. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
Welcome back into the Ingles Studio here on ESPN Asheville. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene is here as well, and we have to say goodbye to the beard. Ryan Fitzpatrick, after 17 seasons in the NFL, is calling it quits.
35,000 yards.
You excited about that?
I loved Ryan Fitzpatrick. I did. He was one of my favorite Jet quarterbacks of all time. The Conor McGregor press conference when he was in Tampa is still one of my favorite moments ever. I also feel like he's going to be a guy that's never really appreciated for just how good he was.
I mean, he was fine, right?
Let's play a fun game.
Okay.
Here's a list of guys that he threw for more yards than.
Okay.
Phil Simms, Steve Young, Troy Aikman, Kurt Warner, currently Derek Carr, Steve McNair, Randall Cunningham, Rich Gannon, Terry Bradshaw, Joe Namath. He had a very good career.
Very good.
It was just spanned across 96 destinations.
Right, but there was no time that you ever felt that he was as good as those guys.
No, and that's not what I'm saying. Right. I'm just saying he's going to be remembered as, you kept saying, journeyman quarterback.
Yeah.
And technically you're right. I just feel like he was more than that.
I mean, he started for 9 different NFL teams, which is, I think that's a record.
It is a record.
So, I mean, you got to give him his due. He was the guy that kept hanging on, kept getting a job somewhere else and go, oh, my God, we'll got Ryan Fitzpatrick, and he'd come in and be good. I remember thinking that same thing in Tampa when he was our quarterback of, oh, really? We're going to do that? And then he comes out and he has great games.
16 seasons in the NFL.
Yeah.
How many winning seasons did he have? No.
It was 0?
It was 3.
Oh, it was 3.
It was 3.
Okay.
He had 1 10-6 year with the Jets. It's the only time he won 10 games in a season.
Okay.
Other than that, he went 2-1 in 2017 with Tampa Bay, and was 4-3 with Miami. Other than that, he was below 5. He was 500 or worse every year of his career.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, there are just some guys that transcend the game, and Ryan Fitzpatrick's best quality was that he was from Harvard.
Have you heard what his next step is?
No.
He's negotiating with Amazon right now
Is
to be
he really?
involved in their.
All right, I could see that.
Oh, I'm all the way in. I would much rather you go Ryan Fitzpatrick than Drew Brees.
Okay.
Ugh.
I don't know. I've never heard Ryan Fitzpatrick on a game call, so I don't know.
I don't have to. The coffee cup I'm drinking out of would be better than Drew Brees.
Maybe,
and I'm not sure it wouldn't be better than Tom Brady, but
look, when you go to Tampa Bay, you find a personality, and it happened with Ryan Fitzpatrick. It happened with Tom Brady.
I just want him to show up to every Amazon broadcast with the Conor McGregor suit on.
Right.
Just full on, 4 buttons down, gold chain, sunglasses. That's the guy I want doing football games.
He's going to have to get his own gold chains, though, because I don't know that anybody on the broadcast crew will let him borrow their chains for props. Like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers
he's done fine.
did. I think it was Chris Godwin. I think he borrowed the chains from Chris Godwin to do that, which is still one of the most legendary. When you see a picture, like if he were ever to be considered for a veteran selection into the NFL Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, his bust should be of that press conference.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Just looking with all his glory with the chains and the chest hair and the beard. One of the greatest beards in all of sports. In sports history.
I have the perfect comp to him. And he will never be looked at in the same vein that this guy was.
Okay.
It's Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah.
They're borderline the same guy.
Yeah, but Vinny just had more.
One was
sizzle.
the number one pick in the draft, and one was a little fun story from Harvard.
Yeah, but there were also times when you saw Vinny have great games, and you went, "That's the guy."
How
right?
many of those did you see? He was
the
best years of his career.
One game where he threw like 6 touchdown passes for the Dallas Cowboys just out of nowhere.
Yeah, and he was 80.
I mean,
he was 84 years old. He also threw 20 interceptions in the season you're talking about.
That's fine.
They're very comparable.
There were moments. He had his moments. Unfortunately,
Fitzpatrick's touchdown to interception ratio's a little better.
Unfortunately,
win-loss record looks a lot alike.
Unfortunately, Vinny was tied to the 2 worst franchises of all time in sports.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Cleveland Browns.
I was going to say New York Jets, but okay.
We're not worse than the Browns. Get out of here. We're not worse than the Browns. Get out of here. I will say he did go 12-1 1 year as the starter of the Jets. So both Jets quarterbacks.
At least the Cleveland Browns had the Jim Brown era.
Which was 70 years ago. No, we won a Super Bowl. How many of those did Cleveland got?
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay. End argument.
Win that one.
Lawyered. I don't care if it's in 1969. We have a Super Bowl trophy. You go to One Jet Drive, there is a Lombardi trophy in that building. Cleveland has leather helmets and a bunch of, we won the AFL. Well, tremendous. Good for you. You know what that and $1 will get you? A Coke.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. It's time to get weird.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
I'm going to take you to Burlington, Wisconsin for today's weird story from me, anyway.
Is it about cheese?
It is not about cheese. It's oddly enough about a mode of transportation that not too many people choose.
A cheesemobile.
Not a cheesemobile. Hot air balloon. Hot air balloons.
Absolutely, unequivocally, you could not give me enough money to get in a hot air balloon.
Oh, no. I feel like we should make that happen.
Out. See, Chris, I straight up, I'll quit.
Why would you not?
I will fake my own death and just away I go.
Scares you being in a wicker basket high above the ground?
Yeah. Look, first of all, wicker is no fat guy's friend. All right, and I understand that I'm a little, I've slimmed down and I'm in a better position. I get that. I'm still 6'5". Wicker is not my friend.
I can just see a terrified Jeremy Greene clinging onto the side of a basket going, excuse me, sir. Sir, why does it creak every time I move?
Nope. Out. Here's the thing. You'll never see that because I would never get that close to one of those death traps.
A hot air balloon crashed in Burlington, Wisconsin. And if that's not bad enough, the balloon crashed into a moving train.
If you were trying to sell me on this, you're not doing the greatest of jobs at it.
They don't know what happened, what went wrong with the balloon, but it was going down, and it was going down pretty fast. And unfortunately, when emergency responders got onto the scene, they could see the balloon part of the hot air balloon was tangled in power lines. The basket, unfortunately, had made contact with a moving train. I'm not saying that this is like, freight train coming down 80 miles an hour and they just wham. 3 people did have to go to the hospital because of it. T's and P's to those people. It does make you question what the hell were you doing in a hot air balloon in the first place? I don't know.
Why does that exist? Like, why? Who looks at that and goes, this is a great idea. I'm going to turn myself into potato salad, put myself in a picnic basket, and float it over the world.
Yeah. There were several balloons flying in the air at the time of the crash, some of them flying very low, bystanders say. Apparently the balloon got tangled in some power lines when it crashed, and the basket did make contact with a moving train. Apparently, like I said, 3 people in the hospital, T's and P's. Antiquated air travel should probably not be a thing.
You're not a bird. Stop trying to fly. Speaking of things you should stop doing.
Says the guy who lived on airplanes for a while.
Hey, airplanes are different. We haven't perfected that. We're pretty good.
Yeah, pretty
Look
good.
at an airplane now. Look at an airplane 40 years ago.
True.
Look at a hot air balloon 40 years ago. Look at one now.
Same thing.
They look very similar.
They do.
Something that's not going to look very similar, Vegas weddings.
Okay.
The licensing company that controls the Elvis Presley name and image has sent cease and desist letters to wedding chapel operators in Las Vegas to stop using Elvis in themed ceremonies.
Not going to do it.
I know they're absolutely going to do it.
Not going to do it.
Now they have found a lot of workarounds. You can have a rock and roll wedding with what looks like a combination of Elvis and, well, me, if I was being really frank. Looks a little bloated and possibly like last night went a little longer than you wanted it to. Why would you do this? It's just the most synonymous thing with Elvis for our generation is that you can have him marry you in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
What is it hurting?
They're not getting a cut of the business.
Well, I mean, you can get married for $29. It's not like this is a billion-dollar industry. And if it is, it's because there's a bajillion weddings out there.
This is name, image, and likeness, man. We got the trademark. You can't just have fake Elvises out here marrying people.
Why? Who's it hurting? Because there's nothing you can do to stop a parody. So now you're going to get a bunch of people like me that go, oh, watch this.
Right.
Because parodies are covered under the First Amendment. So you can't stop me there as long as I don't call myself Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
I can call myself Levis, though.
Levis.
Be a mulleted Elvis. Nothing you can do to stop me. And it makes me want to do it.
Can't do
really,
that.
really bad.
Can't do that because then you're going to get sued by Levi's.
Nope.
We can't have Levi's.
2 E's.
Oh, 2 E's.
It's Levis.
That's his way to get around it. Okay.
Levis.
All right. No more Elvis impersonator weddings in Vegas. Apparently.
How much do you think the Vegas wedding industry generates a year?
Ooh. I would say it's in the ballpark of $1.2 billion.
It's $2 billion. $2 billion a year.
Good
and Elvis-themed weddings represent a significant number of the ceremonies performed.
Of course they do.
Why would you, unless it's Mel Kiper, why would you get married by anybody else in Las Vegas?
Than Elvis?
Why would you get married by anybody else in Vegas that's not Elvis?
Wayne Newton?
I don't want the minister singing Donka Shane, okay? It's Elvis. The Graceland Wedding Chapel, which this basically shuts down.
Oh, yeah.
Because now they can't use any of this.
No.
They perform 6,400 Elvis weddings a year. I don't know how good you are at math.
Uh-huh.
It's like 17 a day.
It's a lot.
Just, why can you not leave well enough alone? We were being nice. It was good, Elvis.
It's all about the money. You got to follow the trail. So we talked about one journeyman football player who is calling it quits. There's another one, first ballot Hall of Famer Frank Gore, signing his one-day contract with the San Francisco 49ers so he can retire a 49er after 16 seasons in the NFL. That's a guy that's got a shot at the Hall of Fame.
No shot.
Stop that.
Literally no shot.
Third all-time rushing.
And
it matters.
Well, Ryan Fitzpatrick's 31st all-time in passing yards. You think he's got a shot? Because I'll be honest with you, they're pretty synonymous to me. You had one great year. Other than that, it was just a lot of attrition. Edgerrin James didn't get in the Hall of Fame for a slew of years.
He's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, but you
he's not a Hall of Famer.
Yes, he is. Stop
He's a great guy. Played for my Jets. Weird how many of these old guys that cling on too long wind up playing for the Jets.
Mm-hmm. And the
great
Buccaneers.
guy. Never make the Hall of Fame. Never come close.
Oh, yeah.
He might be 15 of the when they cut it down. We got 15 finalists. Yeah, Frank Gore's 15.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie Wayne can't make the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he will.
It's going to take a minute. It took Isaac Bruce 10 years.
And that's how long it'll take Frank Gore. But eventually, he will be a Hall of Famer.
And I maintain 17 years from now, I'm going to look at you and go, you remember that thing I said of he would never sniff the Hall of Fame, and he shouldn't have?
You can't be top 5 in one of the most important statistical categories in the NFL and not be in the Hall of Fame.
No, yeah, you can. You 100% can.
Who did it?
Who's done it so far?
Yeah, who did? I need to know.
Let's play.
Love to know.
Let's play a fun game. Jerome Bettis, it took him forever to get in.
Mm-hmm.
He's 7th, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get to the career rushing yards. This is such a... He's behind 2 guys that played 4 less years than him.
Uh-huh. Only
Jerome Bettis is probably the best
third
example.
to only Walter Payton and Emmitt Smith. And
was he ever a top 5 running back in the NFL? Ever.
I mean, once.
Ever happened.
Once.
1 year. Woo.
He was top 10 a lot of
Thomas
times, though.
Jones was a top 5 running back once.
True.
You going to make the argument for him in the Hall of Fame?
No.
You going to make the argument for Corey Dillon?
No.
Or Fred Taylor? You'll make that argument. And I know you will.
Nah.
Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson should be in the Hall of Fame.
No, he shouldn't.
Yes, he should.
No, he shouldn't.
Yeah.
Warwick Dunn. You make that argument?
100%. There's no Hall of Fame without Warwick Dunn. Can't tell the story of football without Warwick Dunn. Sorry, I couldn't say that with a straight face.
That's weird. Ricky Waters. By the way, Thomas Jones, 26th all-time in rushing yards. Just to tell you how completely meaningless and stupid of a statistic as that is.
Uh-huh. All right. Frank Gore signing that one-day contract with the San Francisco 49ers so he can retire with the team that drafted him so many years ago. 11,000 of his 16,000 rushing yards came with the San Francisco 49ers when it mattered, right? I mean, that was the part of his career that you'll look back and go, he was one of the best running backs in the NFL.
I never thought he was a top 5 running back in the NFL.
Really?
Never, not for a minute. He had one 1,700-yard year. Other than that, the best year of his career was 1,200.
Tonight, we got Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Golden State Warriors, Boston Celtics. You got the veteran-laden championship caliber team going up against the newbies, the young guys. A lot of people making that out to be a huge difference, and I think it's got its merits that you have, 129 games or something like that of NBA Finals experience on the Golden State Warriors. You have 0 on the Boston Celtics. The last time that happened was when Michael Jordan and the Bulls beat the Utah Jazz in the first finals, 97.
I'm looking at this going, I feel like the public is falling for this.
I believe they are too.
I have said this as loudly as I can. This is probably the worst team you could have come up against if you were Golden State. Because this is one team that just straight up, man-to-man, can defend you. You cannot defend them. Golden State, well, they've been better defensively. Yeah, against Luka Doncic and 4 dudes that he found at Walmart.
But throughout the entire season, I mean, they had good defensive efficiency numbers. They were like top 7 or 8 in the league, I believe. And maybe that's part of the game that you're underselling their ability to defend.
No, I'm not. No, Steph Curry still has to defend somebody.
Yes.
He gave up 6 points to me. What do you think he's going to do to Marcus Smart?
Well, that's only because you were a foot taller than him.
I was a foot taller than him, and I can't tell you how many shots I put up in that game, but let's just put it in a bunch.
3 for 33.
It wasn't that many, but it was 2 for a number that probably also started with a 2.
That's right, yeah. 6 points would be obviously.
It was only 2 threes. Yeah. There was no drive in the lane. You could assume Jeremy was a standout at the 3-point line and ball!
100%.
That was who shot.
Card-carrying captain, the team gets mine,
100%.
Jeremy Greene.
Where you think it came from. I just look at the series. I think Boston wins the series in 6 games. And I think you're going to see it tonight.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't know that this goes 7 games. 6 games seems fine for me. Boston Celtics, I think they're just a better team all around.
Well, and a lot's being made about the fact that they turn the ball over a lot, and they do.
So does Golden State.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
They do. I don't see many plus matchups. I don't know how. And now I will tell you this. A lot hinges on Robert Williams. Is that knee right, yes or no? Because if it's not, now you got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you're going to have to play their way. And Al Horford's going to have to play the 5, which puts Grant Williams out there. And now that small ball lineup of theirs, you don't have the advantage that you had.
But Grant Williams has played admirably when he's had to.
And I'm not disputing that. What I'm saying is that the advantage that Boston has right now is that you have a gigantic rim protector that you can hide on Kevon Looney or Jonathan Kuminga or whoever that 5th player is. You can hide him there, and it's not going to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they're going to deal with that because the help coming off just means that Golden State's going to sit out the 3-point line and shoot. I could see them averaging 30 3-pointers a night in this series, and I don't think that's a sustainable way to beat this team.
Yeah. You're going to have everybody hitting their shots. You're going to be – here's the thing. Golden State, this will probably be the toughest test that they've had. And it should be because it's the NBA Finals. But I like this Boston team.
I do too. I think the public has been on the wrong side of this. And look, the NBA playoffs have been a disaster for me.
Everybody wants the narrative. Everybody wants the feel-good narrative of, Steph Curry and Draymond Green and Klay Thompson and Steve Kerr just putting the big rose on top of the dynasty here.
And what tells me that people don't watch these games, I asked this question on social media over the weekend. If you had to pick the 5 best players in this series, how many of them play for Golden State?
I would say 2.
I would say 1. For me, it's Steph Curry and nobody else. Because Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Tatum's 2, Jaylen Brown's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Then to me, you get into Al Horford, Draymond Green, Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, Klay Thompson. Because people just assume this is not the Klay Thompson that you remember. This is a greatly limited. I did the rankings of every player in the series, and I had Klay Thompson at 9.
Really?
He's not very good. I mean, can he still score? Yeah. He's not even. I'm not going to tell you he's terrible defensively, but he's not good.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to have to deal with either Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, depending on how you do this. And I just think it's going to be – I think there's more of a disadvantage here for Golden State than people think.
So you have Steph Curry, Draymond Green, then Klay. You didn't go crazy and put like Andrew Wiggins up there or Kevon
I had
Looney.
Wiggins ahead of Klay Thompson.
Okay.
I think Wiggins is more important. And there's a cover story on ESPN today that I'm telling you right now is a phenomenal read. Talking about how D'Angelo Russell is the reason that they're still here. Because they convinced Kevin Durant to take the sign and trade, which got them D'Angelo Russell back, who they traded off for Andrew Wiggins and Kuminga.
Right.
It's a phenomenal read. That's what smart teams do, though. Smart teams don't just let guys walk out the door for nothing. The NBA has always been maddening to me in that regard. And then they took away the advantage of a sign and trade, which it's so stupid. LeBron James moves, and we have to fix this.
Right.
No, or you could just let it happen.
Mm-hmm. Lots of talk about these two teams. These two teams were built the right way. They were built through the draft. They weren't bought. I mean,
I think that is the dumbest argument to me.
You did.
They
have
weren't
some of that.
bought. You mean in the sport with the toughest salary cap to deal with in all of sports, and it's not even kind of close.
But this goes back to the super team argument of you didn't home grow your talent. You went and found it somewhere, and there had to be backroom deals. People think this is so seedy.
And
like when LeBron
here's my
did
question: who cares?
Apparently, a lot of people.
But what I can't figure out is why. Why do you care?
Because it's not the right way. Because it's not the way that we've seen it done. You think of the other dynasties in the history of the NBA, they've been homegrown, right? You had the Bulls. They drafted Michael Jordan. They drafted Scottie Pippen. People forget the fact that they had to go get hired guns like Dennis Rodman to help them win that many games. But still.
Stephen Tao in our YouTube comments asked, how so? The NBA gives out max contracts like crazy. Yeah, to the players that you draft. If you draft well, it's really easy to build a team like this. Where it's hard is when you're a bad drafting team and you have to go headhunting for superstars, which for some reason is what people get mad at. If you don't have cap space, you have virtually no maneuverability in this league, especially if you don't have talented young guys. The Kevin Durant thing. Of course he left. Of course he left. He was always going to leave. And basically that entire article was, yeah, we knew he was leaving a year before he did. Mm-hmm. That's why we had started positioning him of, where are you planning on going? Maybe we work out sign a trade here.
Because this became, because of the super team era. This is the narrative around, the negative around super teams is the thing that caused that. I don't think it was because he didn't like Golden State. Of course he loved being there and winning 78 games or whatever the hell it was that they won that one season.
73.
73 games. Obviously he's going to love that. The problem is everybody ragged on him because, you had to go join the super team. You had to go join this team.
Magic didn't have to do that. Yeah, and that was in 1979. Mm-hmm. Things are different now. There were no free agents in the NFL until 1992. You want to tell me how the 80s Cleveland Browns were built the right way?
Right. People just have this have that theme stuck in their heads of you can't do it any other way. You need to be drafted by a player like Giannis. I've actually been shocked there hasn't been more of that talk about Giannis. And maybe if they were in the finals this year, there would be. But remember how much we talked about him staying in Milwaukee was a bad idea, that he was never going to win a title in Milwaukee. He should have taken the money and gone somewhere else to win a title. He stuck around and did it. He stuck with Milwaukee, and they ended up winning the title. He did it the right way. Kevin Durant, no, that's bad. LeBron James, no, that's bad. I don't get it either.
See, to me, that's like the Pete Rose argument. It's a good space filler that gives you 1 day worth of content, and it is the most nonsensical argument ever.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Take a quick break, and when we come back, Jeremy's going to be mad.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is crawling 26 eastbound between I-40 and Bavard Road. Due to an accident, the left lane is blocked. 26 east and westbound near the US 25 connector near East Flat Rock. Heavy backups and delays. 26 westbound, stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound is stop and go between NC 215 and exit 27. Hit Sweeten Creek Road northbound is stop and go between Rock Hill Road and I-40 due to an accident. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road, heavy delays. Hendersonville Road delays southbound between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Long Shoals Road. Bavard Road north and southbound near Bent Creek, heavy volume between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Warehouse of Asheville. Memorial Day sale extended at Mattress Warehouse and save up to $800. Buy one, get one 50% off pillows and take 20% off sheets and protectors. Get 0% interest financing store-wide plus get free next-day delivery. Visit Mattress Warehouse and sleep better today.
People here are raving about QC Kinetics and how regenerative medicine has changed their life. People like Helen, an avid mountain climber who got sidelined when an accident left her knees in constant pain.
I was not able to train or do really anything on my knee.
Helen was told surgery would be her only option. But then she found QC Kinetics and was treated with natural biologics designed to repair and restore tissue in her knees. 3 months later, she was climbing the highest mountain in North America.
I got a very quick resolution to my pain. I began treatment in March, and I summited Denali June the 7th. It was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
Get your life back with lasting results. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to get conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas? Babbel, language for life. celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Staples offers tech solutions and accessories for learners, small business, and remote workers, too. Right now, Apple AirPods Pro are only $189. You save $60. In-store only. Offer N64 while supplies last. Limit 2. Explore the latest tech solutions at Staples, the working and learning store.
There are so many words to describe Panera's new Chef's Chicken sandwiches. The chicken, juicy, succulent, seared. The brioche roll, buttery and toasty. The Parmesan crisps, crunchy, tangy. The secret aioli, creamy and rich. All those words, but when you have a bite, you might just be left speechless. Panera's new Chef's Chicken Sandwiches. Enjoy $1 delivery fee when you order on our app. Restrictions apply. For details, visit panerabread.com/delivery info.
It's summertime and you're on the move. And now you can bring your favorite radio station, just like this one, with you wherever you're going. When you download the free iHeartRadio app, have something to say, tap the talkback mic and send a voice message. You might even end up on the radio. In the mood for music? Explore thousands of playlists to match your vibe, from summer to sleep and everything in between. And listen to the most popular podcasts on the planet, all for free. And all waiting for you now on the free iHeartRadio app. Discover music, radio, and podcasts you'll love.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Dirty Turkish back flat. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore. Back flat.
Let the hate flow through you.
You can chalk this up to me being mad about something before it happens. Nike founder Phil Knight has made a $2 billion offer to purchase the Portland Trail Blazers. And I have almost no doubt that this is not actually going to happen because it's not good for the narrative. The NBA has been leaking for weeks that they're trying to find a way to get a team to Seattle and a team to Las Vegas. Adding more teams makes no sense. Mm-hmm. Makes zero sense. It completely screws up the schedule. And let's be really honest. Think about the 30th team in the NBA as we sit. And Phil Knight, above all else, is going to want to keep the Trailblazers where? Right where they are.
Yep.
This is one of those things in sports that makes way too much sense. Like Mark Cuban owning a baseball team. I could do this for a minute. And you know what all these things have in common? They almost never happen. Because there is another interest involved. The NBA is better with the Trailblazers in Portland. We've already seen it in Seattle. Las Vegas is cute, but not every sport needs a team in Vegas immediately. Sell the team to Phil Knight. They've been in limbo since Paul Allen passed away. It's been with his sister. This has been the team that she did not care about and has made it very clear. This is how this needs to go, and it needs to develop quickly. Sell this team to Phil Knight and watch them prosper. I'm preliminarily mad.
Because the NBA is going to say no. The NBA will block it, you think?
I cannot physically believe that Phil Knight has not been interested in these things before. And they've always kept him at arm's length. They want Phil and Nike to be all of these things, but they don't want him affiliated with a team. Mm-hmm. And that's just ridiculously dumb to me. The thought process, I at least get the thought process of we're in bed with Nike as a league. It's not a good look for the founder of that company to have an interest in one of our teams. It's just short-sighted to me. It's the same thing as keeping Mark Cuban out of Major League Baseball. Mm-hmm. I always thought that was dumb.
Well, that was
This is a guy that has all the money that you could ever want. Mm-hmm. He wanted to buy the Cubs. He would have been fantastic for the Cubs. But he's not an owner of a baseball team.
He's not a member of the old guard. He's going to do things his own way. He's going to be loud. He's going to be noisy, and that's not what they want. No,
yeah. And how good are the Cubs right now? Oh, okay. Yeah, that Ricketts thing's working out tremendously well. I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm just
saying that was always the argument against Mark Cuban.
That would be the argument against Phil Knight too. Is that he's too big of a personality. He's too wrapped into one of our biggest sponsors that does all of the outfitting for the league. that will be the reason they keep him out.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
Yeah, if they're dead set on moving two teams, the Portland Trailblazers would be one of them.
And Sacramento Kings would be the other.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Same Sportsocracy time, same Sportsocracy channel here on ESPN Asheville and on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you tomorrow at 3.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We've got a front coming in from the west. Northwest winds, lower humidity into the weekend forecast behind this front, but some splash and dash thunderstorms ahead of the front. And we're ahead of the front tonight. 62 degrees our low with isolated storms. Hit or miss storms early Friday, high 76 degrees, and the front clears us Friday night down in the mid-50s. Lower humidity Saturday, sunshine, beautiful, high 78, low 56. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. At Allstate, better protection costs a whole lot less. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is crawling 26 eastbound between I-40 and Bavard Road. Due to an accident, the left lane is blocked. 26 east and westbound near the US 25 connector near East Flat Rock. Heavy backups and delays. 26 westbound, stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound is stop and go between NC 215 and exit 27. Hit Sweeten Creek Road northbound is stop and go between Rock Hill Road and I-40 due to an accident.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag. Wendy's Biggie Bag is still just $5. Get a double stack junior bacon cheeseburger or crispy chicken BLT plus 4-piece nugs, small fries, and a small drink. Grab your bag at Wendy's today. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.